Royal Guard Horse Foams and Bucks Horse Guards, Royal Guard King's Guard Horse London, 2024. The sky is pale, carrying the soft light of early day, and a cool breeze moves through the wide open space near Horse Guards Parade. People start arriving slowly at first, then in growing numbers, filling the area with quiet excitement. Tourists from different countries stand side by side, holding cameras, phones, and small flags. Some are seeing this place for the first time, while others have come back again, drawn by the history and tradition that seem to live in every corner of the city. Near the parade ground, the King's Guard prepares for their ceremonial duties. The guards move with calm focus, each step measured and precise. Their uniforms are clean and perfectly arranged, polished boots reflecting the light as they take their positions. Among them are the mounted guards, sitting tall on strong horses that have been trained for years to perform in public settings. These horses are not just animals. They are working partners, used to noise, crowds, and long hours of standing still. One of these guards has been part of the royal service for many years. He understands the weight of tradition and the importance of discipline. His posture is straight, his face steady, showing no sign of emotion. Beneath him is a large, powerful horse with a dark coat that shines in the daylight. The horse stands proudly, head held high, muscles tense but controlled. From a distance, the pair look like a statue brought to life, a perfect image of strength and order. Around them, the crowd grows thicker. People whisper to each other, pointing at the guards and horses. Children sit on their parents' shoulders to get a better view. Some visitors are quiet, clearly moved by the moment, while others speak excitedly, unaware of how much concentration it takes for both guard and horse to remain still. Phones are lifted into the air, capturing photos and videos meant to be shared across the world. The guard remains focused, trained to ignore distractions. He has practiced this moment countless times. He knows that ceremonies like this are not just about appearance, but about showing respect for history. Every movement or lack of movement is part of the performance. The horse beneath him has also gone through long training sessions, learning to stay calm despite noise and sudden movements around it. As time passes, the sun rises higher and the temperature begins to change. The horse shifts its weight slightly, a natural movement that most people in the crowd do not notice. The guard feels it immediately but does not react. He understands the language of horses, the small signs that show how they are feeling. The animal's ears move, listening carefully to the sounds around it. The smell of the city, the presence of hundreds of people, and the long period of standing still all combine to create a challenging situation, even for a well-trained horse. The crowd continues to grow, and with it, the level of noise slowly increases. Laughter, footsteps, camera clicks, and distant traffic blend into a steady background sound. For the horse, each sound is a signal that must be processed. The guard keeps his hands steady on the reins, offering quiet reassurance through gentle pressure and calm body language. This connection between guard and horse is built on trust, formed over months and years of working together. From the outside, the scene looks peaceful and controlled. Tourists admire the discipline, many assuming that everything is effortless. Few people realize how much effort it takes to maintain this calm appearance. The guard is constantly alert, watching the crowd from the corner of his eye, aware of every movement near the horse. He knows that his role is not only ceremonial but also protective, ensuring the safety of the public as well as his animal partner. The horse breathes steadily, its chest rising and falling. A light foam forms around its mouth, something that can happen during long periods of standing with a bit in place. This detail goes unnoticed by most of the crowd, who remain focused on taking photos. The guard notices, though, and makes a mental note, staying extra aware of the horse's condition. Nearby, other guards stand just as still, each with their own responsibilities. They communicate without words, using subtle signals and shared understanding. If something were to change, they would respond quickly and smoothly, as they have been trained to do. This teamwork is part of what keeps these ceremonies running safely, even in busy public spaces. The atmosphere remains formal but alive. The guard can feel the attention of the crowd, even without looking directly at them. He has learned to exist in this space where he is both seen and expected to remain distant. His thoughts are calm, focused on the task at hand. For him, this is not about personal pride but about service. As minutes pass, the horse shifts again, adjusting its stance. The guard responds with a small movement, barely visible, offering comfort and guidance. This silent conversation continues, unnoticed by those watching. It is a reminder that behind the polished image of tradition, there is a constant balance being maintained. The city around them keeps moving. Buses pass in the distance, and footsteps echo off nearby buildings. The crowd waits patiently, unaware that this moment, like all others, is shaped by countless small details. The guard remains steady, the horse standing beneath him, both part of a tradition that has lasted for generations. This quiet moment before anything changes is filled with tension that only those trained to sense it can feel. Everything looks perfect, yet both guard and horse are working continuously to keep it that way. The ceremony continues, calm on the surface, as London watches, unaware of how fragile stillness can be when living beings are involved. The calm that filled the parade ground does not disappear all at once. Instead, it slowly begins to change, almost so quietly that only the guard notices it at first. From his position on the horse, he feels a slight tightening in the animal's body. It is not sudden or dramatic, but it is different. Years of experience have taught him to pay attention to these small signs. The horse's breathing becomes a little heavier, and its ears move more often, turning toward sounds that most people would ignore. The crowd continues to watch, unaware of this shift. Phones remain raised, and conversations carry on in soft voices. A group of tourists moves closer to the edge of the open space, trying to get a better view. Someone laughs loudly, while another person steps back suddenly after dropping something on the ground. Each small sound adds to the mix of noise that fills the air. The horse feels everything. It senses movement, hears echoes, and smells the city around it. The long period of standing still has begun to test its patience. Foam around its mouth becomes more noticeable, a sign of tension and effort. The guard notices this clearly now. He does not move suddenly or show concern on his face. Instead, he tightens his focus, keeping his posture calm and steady. A light breeze passes through the area, carrying with it the sound of traffic from a nearby street. A bus horn sounds in the distance, sharper than the other noises. The horse's head lifts slightly, and its muscles tense. The guard responds instantly, applying gentle pressure through the reins and shifting his weight in a way meant to reassure the animal. This silent communication has worked many times before. Still, the environment keeps changing. The number of people nearby continues to grow, and the space feels smaller. A child waves a small flag excitedly, the fabric moving quickly in the air. The horse notices the motion, turning its head just enough to see it. The guard senses this and remains calm, reminding himself to breathe slowly. Horses often respond to the emotions of the rider, and he knows his calmness matters. For a moment, it seems like everything will settle again. The horse lowers its head slightly, and the guard relaxes just a bit, though he stays alert. The ceremony continues, and from the outside, nothing seems wrong. The image remains one of discipline and tradition. Then, without warning, a sudden sharp sound breaks through the steady noise. It could be metal clashing or something dropped nearby, but whatever it is, it stands out. The sound echoes across the open space, drawing attention. The horse reacts instantly. Its body stiffens and it shifts its weight backward. The guard feels this reaction before anyone else sees it. The horse's breathing becomes faster and it lifts its head higher. The foam around its mouth increases slightly and its tail swishes with nervous energy. The guard tightens his grip just enough to maintain control, careful not to startle the animal further. His training takes over now, pushing aside any personal fear or concern. People in the crowd begin to notice that something is different. A few phones lower as their owners sense movement where there was none before. Some step back slightly, unsure of what is happening. Others keep recording, thinking they are about to capture something unusual. The horse takes a small step, then another. This is not part of the ceremony. The guard adjusts his position, using his legs and hands to guide the horse back into stillness. He speaks softly, words meant only for the animal. His voice is low and steady, though it cannot be heard by those nearby. Other guards notice the change as well. Without drawing attention, they become more alert. They shift their focus toward the situation, ready to act if needed. Their movements are minimal, trained to avoid adding to the tension. The horse tosses its head once, a clear sign of discomfort. The guard feels the power beneath him, the strength held back by training and trust. He knows that horses are not machines. No matter how well trained, they remain living beings with instincts shaped by survival. In crowded, noisy environments, those instincts can surface. The crowd grows quieter now, sensing that something is wrong. Conversations stop, and the usual excitement fades into uncertainty. A few people step farther back, while others freeze in place, unsure of what to do. The sound of the city continues, but it feels distant compared to the tension in the open space. The guard keeps his eyes forward, his body controlled. He cannot look worried or uncertain. His role requires calm authority. Inside, he is fully focused on the horse, reading every movement, every breath. He knows that how he reacts in the next moments will matter greatly. The horse shifts again, lifting one front hoof briefly before placing it back down. Its muscles ripple under its coat, showing how much energy it is holding. The guard tightens his legs slightly, offering support and direction. He avoids sudden movements, knowing that they could make things worse. Nearby, a supervisor signals quietly to other personnel. They begin to prepare to create more space just in case. Their actions are smooth and practiced, designed not to alarm the crowd. The goal is always safety for everyone involved. The horse's attention seems scattered now, jumping from one sound to another. Its ears flick back and forth rapidly. The guard feels the animal's heart beating faster beneath him. He keeps his breathing slow and controlled, hoping the horse will match his calm. A moment passes, then another. The tension does not disappear. Instead, it hangs in the air, thick and heavy. The crowd watches closely now, fully aware that the situation has changed. Some people whisper, others stand silently, eyes fixed on the horse and rider. The guard knows this is the most difficult part. When a horse becomes unsettled, there is no instant solution. It requires patience, skill, and sometimes a bit of luck. He remains steady, trusting in his training and the bond he has built with the horse. The ceremony, once smooth and predictable, has entered an uncertain phase. What happens next is no longer fully controlled by routine. It depends on how the horse responds, how the guard guides it, and how the environment around them behaves. In this moment, tradition and reality meet. The perfect image seen by the public gives way to the truth behind it, that these ceremonies depend on living beings doing their best under pressure. The guard stays ready, the horse alert and tense, as everyone waits to see whether calm will return or if the situation will continue to unfold. The change happens quickly, but not without warning. The horse, already tense, suddenly releases the energy it has been holding inside. Its body moves in a strong, sudden way, lifting and shifting with force that surprises the crowd. The guard feels the movement immediately. His training takes over before thought can catch up. He tightens his balance, keeping his body centered, using his legs and posture to stay connected to the horse. The horse steps sharply, then lifts its front end slightly, reacting to the pressure and noise around it. This is not aggression, but fear and confusion mixed with strength. The animal is trying to understand its surroundings, trying to protect itself in the only way it knows how. The guard remains focused, his face calm, though his muscles work hard to stay steady. The crowd reacts almost all at once. Gasps fill the air. Some people step back quickly, pulling children close to them. Others freeze where they stand, unsure whether to move or stay still. Phones shake in raised hands as people continue recording, their excitement now mixed with concern. The open space feels smaller, tighter, as attention locks onto the horse and rider. The horse's movements grow stronger for a moment. It lifts its head high, muscles tightening, then shifts again, pushing against the ground with power. The guard keeps his hands firm but gentle on the reins, careful not to pull sharply. He knows sudden force could increase the horse's fear. Instead, he works to guide the energy downward, encouraging the horse to slow and focus. Around them, other guards respond instantly. Their movements are quick but controlled. Without shouting or panic, they step into positions meant to create a wider space. Their goal is clear: protect the public and support their fellow guard without adding stress to the situation. This teamwork has been practiced many times, even if it is rarely seen by the public. The horse's breathing is fast now, visible in the rise and fall of its chest. Foam at its mouth is more noticeable, a sign of effort and tension. The guard speaks softly, words meant only for the horse. His voice stays low and steady, even as his heart beats faster. He knows that horses respond not just to touch, but to tone and presence. The animal takes another strong step, its hooves striking the ground with force. The sound echoes across the parade ground, sharp and sudden. The crowd flinches. Some people turn their heads away, while others watch closely, unable to look elsewhere. The calm ceremony they expected has turned into something real and unpredictable. The guard adjusts his position again, shifting his weight carefully to stay balanced. Years of riding and training guide every movement. He does not fight the horse, but works with it, trying to guide its strength in a safer direction. This is a delicate balance. Too much control can cause panic. Too little can allow the situation to grow worse. The horse's tail swishes, and its ears pin back briefly before flicking forward again. It is listening to everything at once, overwhelmed by sound and movement. The guard feels the tension clearly. He knows this moment will pass, but only if handled correctly. Nearby officers continue moving the crowd back, creating more distance. Their voices are calm but firm, guiding people away from the edge of the space. Most follow instructions quickly, understanding that safety matters more than getting a perfect video. A few hesitate but are gently urged to move. The horse lifts again, its front hooves rising just enough to show how much energy it is holding. The guard remains mounted, his balance strong, his posture steady. He keeps his eyes forward, not looking at the crowd, not letting outside fear enter his focus. His world has narrowed to the horse beneath him and the task of bringing calm back. For a brief moment, it seems like the horse might settle. Its movement slows slightly, and the guard relaxes just enough to encourage that change. He continues speaking softly, steady, and patient. The connection between them is tested now, built on trust formed long before this day. The crowd watches in near silence. The excitement has faded, replaced by concern and respect. Many people realize, perhaps for the first time, how challenging this role truly is. This is not just a display. It is real work, involving real risk and responsibility. The horse shifts again, not as strongly as before, but still unsettled. The guard responds instantly, guiding it in a small, controlled movement meant to release tension safely. He avoids forcing the horse to stand perfectly still. Sometimes, allowing small movement helps prevent a bigger reaction. Other guards remain close, ready to assist if needed. Their presence is reassuring, both to the guard on the horse and to the crowd. This is a team effort, even if one person and one horse remain at the center of attention. The sounds of the city continue in the background, but they feel distant now. All focus is on this moment. The horse's breathing begins to slow just slightly. The guard feels the change and encourages it, maintaining his calm posture and steady hands. The horse lowers its head a little, a sign that tension may be easing. The guard continues guiding it gently, careful not to rush the process. He knows that forcing calm rarely works. It must be allowed to happen. The crowd remains quiet, watching closely. Some people lower their phones now, choosing to simply observe. Others whisper softly, commenting on the strength of the horse and the skill of the rider. Fear has turned into awareness. Slowly, the horse's movements become less sharp. Its steps are more controlled, less driven by panic. The guard stays alert, knowing that sudden changes can still happen. He does not relax fully, but he senses that the most intense moment may be passing. This part of the event will not be forgotten easily. What was meant to be a calm display of tradition has shown a deeper truth. Behind the uniforms and ceremonies are living beings, each responding to stress in their own way. The guard remains focused, the horse still alert but improving. As the situation begins to move toward the next stage, the strongest tension slowly begins to fade, though no one relaxes completely. The horse is still alert, but its movements are no longer sharp or sudden. Its breathing starts to slow, each breath deeper than before. The guard feels this change clearly. It is subtle, but after years of experience, he knows the signs. This is the moment where patience matters most. He keeps his posture steady, his hands calm on the reins. There is no rush in his movements. Every action is gentle and controlled, meant to guide rather than force. The horse lowers its head slightly, then raises it again, as if checking its surroundings. The guard allows this, understanding that the animal needs to feel aware before it can feel safe. The crowd remains quiet. People stand still, giving space as instructed. Many faces show relief, though concern still lingers. Parents keep children close and conversations stay low. The energy of the area has changed. What was once excitement has turned into careful attention. Nearby, other guards maintain their positions. Their presence forms a calm barrier around the situation. They do not rush in or crowd the horse. Instead, they hold steady, ready to assist if needed. This quiet support plays an important role. Horses can sense when the space around them feels secure. The guard speaks softly again, his voice low and even. The words themselves do not matter as much as the tone. Horses respond to calm sounds and steady rhythms. The horse flicks its ears back toward him, listening. This small response feels like progress. The horse shifts its weight, then stands more evenly on all four legs. The guard encourages this by relaxing his legs just enough to signal comfort. His breathing remains slow and steady. He knows that his own calm can help guide the horse back to balance. A few moments pass like this, quiet and focused. The city sounds are still there, but they no longer feel overwhelming. The horse seems to notice them less, its attention slowly returning to the rider. Foam around its mouth decreases as its breathing becomes more controlled. The guard carefully guides the horse to take a few slow steps. This is done with purpose, not to move away quickly, but to release remaining tension. Standing completely still after stress can sometimes make things worse. The horse follows the guidance, its steps measured and careful. The crowd watches closely. Some people whisper words of encouragement, though most remain silent. A few nod with respect, understanding how much skill is required in this moment. What they are seeing now is not part of any planned ceremony. It is the quiet work that happens when things do not go as expected. The horse pauses again, then stands calmly. Its head lowers a little more this time, a clear sign that the worst has passed. The guard feels a sense of relief, though he does not allow himself to fully relax yet. He stays alert, ready to respond if needed. Support staff nearby exchange brief signals. They agree that the situation is improving. Their movements remain slow and controlled. Nothing is done suddenly. Everything is designed to keep the calm growing rather than breaking. The guard gently turns the horse away from the center of attention. This is not done as a retreat, but as a thoughtful decision. Sometimes, reducing stimulation is the best way to help an animal recover. The horse follows willingly, its steps steady. As they move, the crowd naturally shifts back a little more, creating a clear path. There is no panic now, only cooperation. People understand that giving space helps everyone. The guard appreciates this silent support from the public. The horse's muscles relax gradually. The tension that once ran through its body fades with each step. The guard continues speaking softly, reinforcing the calm. His hands remain steady, offering guidance without pressure. Other guards walk alongside at a respectful distance. Their presence is reassuring, not threatening. The horse notices them but does not react strongly. This is another positive sign. Its focus stays mostly on the rider. The open space feels calmer now. The earlier shock has passed, leaving behind a sense of quiet respect. People who moments ago were filming excitedly now watch with understanding. Some lower their phones entirely, choosing to simply observe. The guard leads the horse toward a quieter area, away from the densest part of the crowd. This decision reflects experience and care. The goal is not to hide what happened, but to prioritize safety and well-being. As they move, the horse turns its head slightly, looking around. Its ears move slowly now, no longer flicking rapidly. The guard notices and feels encouraged. He rewards this calm behavior with gentle reassurance. The city continues its rhythm around them. Traffic sounds return to the background, no longer sharp or sudden. The horse accepts these sounds without reaction. This shows that it is regaining trust in its environment. The crowd begins to breathe easier. Conversations slowly resume, though in softer tones. Some people share thoughts about what they witnessed, often with respect and admiration. They speak about the strength of the horse and the calm skill of the guard. The guard remains focused until the horse is fully settled. He does not rush the process. Experience has taught him that moments like these require patience, not speed. He guides the horse to a place where it can stand quietly and rest. Once there, the horse stands calmly, its posture relaxed. The guard stays mounted, maintaining the connection. He continues to monitor the horse's breathing and movement, ensuring that the calm is stable. Support staff approach slowly, ready to assist if needed. Their presence is calm and professional. They exchange brief words with the guard, confirming that everything is under control. There is no drama in their actions, only care and responsibility. The crowd is now fully aware that the situation has been handled safely. Many people feel a sense of relief. Some even feel grateful to have seen a more honest side of ceremonial duty. What they witnessed was not just tradition, but real responsibility in action. The guard finally allows himself a deeper breath. The horse beneath him stands steady, calm once more. The most difficult part has passed. What remains is reflection and care. This moment, though unexpected, has shown the importance of patience, training, and respect for living beings. The calm that returns is not the same as before. It is deeper, shaped by understanding. As the scene settles, the guard and horse remain together, quiet and composed. The crowd slowly disperses, carrying with them a memory that goes beyond photos. They leave with a new awareness of the balance required to keep tradition alive in a modern, busy world. Later in the day, the busy sounds around Horse Guard's parade begin to fade. The crowd has mostly moved on, returning to their tour, their plans, and their daily routines. What remains is a quieter space, one that feels calm after the earlier tension. The guard guides the horse away from public view, moving at a slow and steady pace. There is no hurry now. The focus has shifted fully to care and reflection. The horse walks calmly, its steps even and relaxed. Its head moves naturally, no longer stiff or high. The guard stays attentive, feeling every movement beneath him. He knows that just because the situation looks calm does not mean his responsibility is over. Care continues long after the public moment has ended. They reach a quieter area where support staff are waiting. These are people trained to work closely with the horses, understanding their needs and behaviors. The guard dismounts slowly, keeping one hand on the reins, maintaining the connection. The horse stands patiently, showing no signs of distress. A gentle check begins. The staff look at the horse's breathing, its posture, and its overall condition. They move calmly, speaking in soft voices. The horse responds well, standing still and relaxed. This calm behavior is a sign that the stress has passed and that the animal feels safe again. The guard watches closely as the check continues. He feels a mix of relief and responsibility. Incidents like this are taken seriously, not as failures, but as moments to learn from. Every detail matters. The environment, the crowd, the timing, and the horse's condition are all considered. Once the initial check is complete, the horse is led to a familiar resting area. The space is quiet, away from crowds and noise. Here, the horse can relax fully. The guard walks alongside, keeping a steady pace. He knows that routine helps animals feel secure, especially after a stressful experience. As the horse settles, the guard takes a moment to reflect. He thinks about the early signs he noticed, the decisions he made, and how the team worked together. Training prepares him for moments like these, but experience shapes how he responds. He understands that no two situations are ever the same. Other guards join him briefly. They speak in calm tones, reviewing what happened. There is no blame, only discussion. Their goal is to ensure safety and improve future procedures. This open approach is part of what keeps everyone prepared. The guard removes his helmet and takes a deep breath. The weight of the moment finally lifts. He feels tired, not from physical effort alone, but from the focus required during the incident. Still, there is also a quiet sense of pride. The situation was handled without harm, and that matters most. The horse rests calmly, its breathing slow and steady. It drinks water and stands comfortably. The bond between horse and guard remains strong. Moments like this, though challenging, often deepen that connection. Trust is tested and strengthened through calm, patient handling. As the day continues, news of the event spreads through conversations and online posts. People share their experiences, some expressing surprise, others respect. Many mention how calm the response was and how quickly safety was restored. These reactions reflect a growing awareness of the real work behind ceremonial roles. The guard does not seek attention or recognition. For him, this was part of the duty he accepted long ago. Public service often includes moments of unpredictability, and handling them quietly is part of the responsibility. Later, as his shift comes to an end, the guard checks on the horse once more. Everything is normal. The animal appears comfortable and at ease. This brings him reassurance. He knows that rest and routine will help fully reset the day. As evening approaches, the City of London continues its rhythm. Tourists enjoy dinners, locals head home, and the parade ground grows quiet. The earlier tension feels distant now, but its lesson remains. This event becomes one of many experiences the guard carries with him. It reminds him that tradition is not just about ceremony and appearance. It is about care, awareness, and respect for those who serve alongside him, including the animals. For those who witnessed the moment, the memory stays with them. They did not just see a guard and a horse. They saw responsibility, patience, and calm action under pressure. These qualities are rarely noticed when everything goes perfectly, but they become clear when challenges arise. The horse settles into its familiar surroundings, the day's stress fully gone. The guard leaves knowing that tomorrow will bring new duties, new crowds, and new moments to manage. Each day carries uncertainty, but also purpose. As night falls, the area near Horse Guard's parade rests in silence. The stones that earlier echoed with hooves and footsteps now lie still. The tradition continues not because it is perfect, but because it adapts and endures. The story of this day does not end with excitement or drama. It ends with calm, care, and understanding. A reminder that behind every public display is a quiet commitment to safety, respect, and responsibility. In this way, the event becomes more than just a moment in time. It becomes a lesson in balance, showing how tradition and modern awareness can exist together. And as the city sleeps, both guard and horse rest, ready to begin again when morning comes.